Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today we're going to do some cleaning up on this berm. Last year, Chris dug this swale over here. It's pretty deep, and he put the soil on next to the swale and built a berm. This is about a year. We didn't plant things on the berm intentionally first year because the soil need to be conditioning. We had some cover crop that randomly scattered, and then some sunflower seeds. These are native sunflower seeds. The berm is pretty overgrown. We want to have the plants to condition the soil and generate biomass so that we can come and clean it up and then plant the trees on the berm. To clean up this mess, I have to clean this first before I can get on the berm. This is exactly what we want. We can get the dried stuff, wet, green stuff mixed together, kind of create a compost pile over here that we can use later for planting. And you can see some blue bonnet growing already. And of course they are nitrogen fixer, the legume plant, so that's native over here. What we want to get rid of is these grasses. They basically have very deep roots and that choke out all other things. But they will be good compost in this case. That's sunflowers. Look what I found over here. This is a goji berry that I planted on the berm in spring as an experiment to see it will survive without watering, and it did. Now it's sending out new leaves. The goji berry is a desert plant that don't need a whole lot of water, and with some help from the swale, it survived the hot summer here, and we're actually still in a drought. So that's good to know. Water is a big problem here for Texas gardening. If we can plant things without watering, that will make us much more resilient. On the other side of the berm, there are lots of things growing too. Some are dead, but some are still alive. Let's see if I pull this one out. So that's the Texas native plant. Look at those roots. To condition the soil, we basically use two methods. One is we put cover crop, in this case is mustard green, or we just let the native plants to grow. They usually have deep roots, and that will condition the soil as well. Here there's a patch of mustard green. We didn't seed them. Well, we seeded them this spring. They died out during summer, but they set seeds down. Now it's fall, and the seeds self-sprouted and gave us this big patch of mustard green over here. we basically didn't do anything, so this is kind of free food for us, and it's an emergency food in case that our own garden didn't work well. We have a backup plan here that we can eat this mustard green for winter. That didn't take me long to clean this area up, so now I can plant a tree and plant some cover crops in there. Need to dig a hole. The soil actually compared to our is very loose here, you can see, and that is the advantage of the berm. The soil is much looser than the native black clay over here. Those soil are very compact. That's why the trees grow better in the berm, because the soil is so fluffy over here. Get some fertilizer. The chicken gave us quite a lot of organic fertilizer. Now I backfill the hole. And put my The property is kind of have a slope facing the west, which of course is not ideal. You want to have an east or south facing slope. So with a berm, you can actually change the landscape and create a east or south facing slope. You notice that I almost backfilled the soil up to the original level so that my trees are not sitting in a hole, because sometimes if you sit in a hole, it's kind of confine the roots. What you want is to have the roots flare out. To do that, I basically build a mound so I can move this soil for the east side. To cover the tree up. This way the root ball is on a mound, and that way the roots can flare out. And so I will basically move the east side of the soil to the other side, and then that gives us a east facing slope that we can plant things next year. In between the trees, I'm going to plant some fava beans. So far, the temperature is still pretty high over here. You can see that I'm almost on my t-shirt. I don't see any freeze in the forecast yet. The fava bean, once they set roots, they can take some frost. So it's a perfect winter cover crop. And to plant that, I got a huge bag from the Hala store. I'm just going to throw the fava bean randomly over here. Then I will dig up the east side of the soil and cover them up with 1 inch of soil or so. And the soil is still pretty moist, and in the morning we also get quite some dew, and hopefully we'll get some rain soon, and then they will sprout. In this video, I showed the berms that Chris created last winter when he dug up the swale. Surprisingly, some of the goji berry that we planted on the berm survived the very dry, hot summer. That means the berm worked really well. Now it's time to put trees on the berm and also plant some winter cover crop to prepare the berm for next summer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumb up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West Farms.